Hi TikTok. Hi everybody. It's the hands-off protest today, so thanks American heroes. Thanks heroes worldwide supporting us. We're gonna overthrow the Trump administration, so good job everybody. Of course he's gonna do a lot of it to himself. He's crashing the stock market, so that's gonna really help give us some motivation and some help to overthrow him. In this way we do it in our sleep. We do it from bed, as I am currently in bed right now, which I call the Pillow Revolution. Probably only be on this live for about 7 minutes. Hello. Just doing a live about the stock market crash and about the stock market crash and the oh gosh, cat's here. Stock market crash and the hands-off protest today. So let me go ahead and send this out to people who might be currently watching. See if anyone wants to join. But yeah, just talking about the stock market crash and the hands-off protest today. So I shared the live out. Thanks for sticking around if you got the live. I'm not going to be on for very long, just talking about go to your protest area today to protest against Trump, or if you can't make it to the Capitol or any protest area, you could do your own protest as well, especially with our phones. But if you can't do your own protest or don't feel like doing that, you can support an existing protest. There's going to be a lot of them today. My mom is going to one. I'm probably not going to one. Just, I don't know, I might, but I don't have that far to go if I go to the Denver protest. I haven't been to one yet, so I've been kind of remiss, but I have been supporting from online, which I call the Pillow Revolution. So you can support all sorts of ones online. And then I just wanted to talk a little bit about the stock market crashing, because Trump is intentionally crashing the stock market. I've been getting a lot of response to my videos about that lately. So I feel like that's something that people are going to be talking about. It's going to be motivating people. But the protest today will help increase the collapse of the stock market, because people are not just protesting in person, they're boycotting things, not buying things, and gonna stop this Trump economy. I'm really kind of disappointed that the Democrats voted to keep the government open, voted for the budget to even keep the government open, especially since Trump is chopping the government up. It's like you would have more government if you shut the government down right now, because he couldn't fire people who weren't there, or he couldn't fire people if the government was shut down. So yeah, I'm disappointed that the Democrats even kept the government open when this is the government. But I do think that the stock market collapse is going to be enough to motivate some people to stop Trump finally. So I think we're talking about like a matter of days, because it's going to be collapsing fast and furious. It's going to be dropping like a rock. If you weren't aware of the current stock market collapse, Trump lost $2 trillion of Americans' money value in stocks on Thursday, and he lost another $4 trillion of not just Americans, but people's investments in stock yesterday. So $6 trillion he's lost already, and then it's going to be dropping even faster when Monday opens up, especially after the impression that this protest is going to make. Should be the biggest protest yet, the biggest anti-Trump protest ever, which who knows what that'll turn into, because once something gets big enough, it can grow even bigger. I don't know if I'm taking any guest requests. If you want to like guest, if somebody's requesting to be a guest, like leave a comment first. Like, yeah, Cole84, go ahead and leave a comment so I know that it's worth bringing you up. Yeah, go ahead and comment. But yeah, so huge protest today, probably the biggest anti-Trump protest ever. It was probably going to be the biggest anti-Trump protest in history. You can go ahead and say it in comments. It's probably going to be the biggest anti-Trump protest in history before the stock market crash. So with the stock market crashing, with people getting motivated, it's going to be huge today. So you can join the protest as well. I encourage you to join in person if you like, but if you're feeling lazy, or if you just want to be on your phone, just scroll till you find the live streams of the protest. There's going to be hundreds of them today. They're going to be at probably every state capital, so that's 50 right there. And then there's going to be, at other city halls and stuff. You know, you can go right outside your house. You don't have to attend an official protest. You can just protest from home. You can be recording your own protests, kind of like what I'm doing right now. Or you can support other people's protests online. So I call either of these options Pillow Revolution, because we can do it from bed, and we can do it worldwide. We can support people all over the world to overthrow their tyrants, just like they can help us support overthrowing Trump and Elon Musk and Putin here in America. I saw a German protest earlier today where their whole protest is about overthrowing Trump and overthrowing Elon Musk and getting rid of fascism, which Germans know the reason for doing that. And he said that every German is against Trump. Well, you know, they have their recurrence of their problems from World War II as well, just like we have that recurrence here in America. But we're shutting it down, or they're shutting it down themselves. Like his tariffs are so disastrous for the economy. Thanks for the share and stuff too. His tariffs are so disastrous for the economy that the stock market's collapsing. If you're new to the stream, or if you haven't heard the news, Trump's lost $6 trillion of people's investments in the stock market in the last 2 days. He lost $6 trillion in 2 days. Trump is also, thanks for the likes. Nice to attract an American, I assume, or an anti-fascist supporter. So thanks. Oh, I saw you like one of my videos, so thanks. It's nice to see you. I'm glad you made it to the live. I'm just doing a quick live to talk about the protest today, let everybody know how to protest today, or you know that you can protest today. It should be the biggest anti-Trump protest ever today, and the stock market crash, which those things kind of work together, because the stock market crashing should help infuse the protest with more energy and attention. So if you want to go to a protest, like my mom is going to a protest, go to your state capitol and protest, or go to your city hall and protest, or go anywhere you like and protest, and film it if you can. Be on live stream. Thanks so much for the likes, everybody. That's awesome. If you can't go to a protest, or you don't feel like going to a protest, I believe you're doing just as much good, or more good in some ways, by supporting the existing protests live on your phones. I call it the Pillow Revolution because we can do it from bed. We can do it on our phones. And we do it in our sleep when they do it to themselves, like they're crashing the stock market. So if you can be on your phone, find a live stream. If you're not watching a live stream, if you're not watching a live stream of a protest, scroll till you get to a live stream of a protest. That won't be hard to do today. So scroll till you get to a live stream of protest, and leave supportive comments, likes, share the protest out to your contacts. You know, the typical things you do to engage and support something on TikTok. But this time, just don't do that for anything that's not a protest, so you can help increase the protest presence. I've been thinking ever since the TikTok ban that we should only use this app for anti-Trump purposes, because they betrayed us too much by putting that little notification that said, thanks to President Trump. Hands off protests. Yes, hands off protests is the name of it. If you're looking for hands off protests, that's the name of the protest today. And it's a good hashtag to use. Hands off. Sorry, I've got cat fur shooting into my mouth. This cat, anyway, it's a good hashtag to use, hands off. Or if you'd like to use my hashtags, mine are Fairy Liberation Front, Pillow Revolution, Church of Judas, Post Putin, Put Putin's Puppy in the Pound, Grabbed by the Posse. Those are some of my hashtags, but probably the most important one right now is Pillow Revolution, because it's something I've advocated for decades from all over the world, since the existence of the internet. But it should not be hard for us using the internet, using our platforms and social media and stuff, to support anybody that needs a tyrant overthrown until that tyrant is overthrown. I know I was doing magic stuff in magic groups. I was doing magic stuff for ending the Syrian war. And, well, it finally ended. I mean, I was doing this 10, 15 years ago for about 5-6 years consistently. But it finally ended. And I wish I'd gotten more support for those efforts, those magical efforts. I'm glad for TikTok now to provide the ability, the access to get all sorts of support from people all over the world. That just basically to use the internet in the way that we always imagined the internet could be used. And the only reason it hasn't is because our evil platforms have been preventing that type of connection and communication. But here we are. Hello, Alex. Nice to see you again. Just talking about Trump collapsing the stock market. Trump crashing the stock market and the hands-off protests today all over the country. My mom's going to one at the Capitol in her state. I might go to the Capitol here in Denver just because it's not very far away from my house, but I do have to work this afternoon, and I do like advocating people to do what they can from their phones, support online, just leaving positive comments in the streams. I always start off with thanks American heroes whenever I find a protest stream, sharing it out, liking it, doing things that help more people become aware of it. Of course, if you want to make your own protest videos, you could use the hashtag #handsoff. You could use, whatever hashtags you feel are appropriate. But today's a good day to push that stuff out there because, like I said, I'm pretty sure it's going to be the biggest anti-Trump protest ever in history. Now, there might have been one really big one, and there might have been a few really big ones, like in one location. But this is going to be all over the country, and it's going to be really, really big. And I would not be surprised if it evolves into more things. When I say surprised, I think I should say I would expect pleasant and positive surprises of it evolving into new things. So there should be a really big one in DC. That's awesome. Have you seen any live streams already of just the pre-protest preparations? I know my mom is probably there by now because she was planning to show up like 2 or 3 hours early to get to the protest before the the traffic got too bad and stuff. But yeah, it's going to be big. It's going to be important, and especially right now. I mean, I think, like I was saying earlier, the protest was going to be big anyway because people are upset with Trump and ready to overthrow him. But the stock market crashing is going to just make, even if it doesn't make more people decide to go to a protest, it's going to make more attention on the protest. And that's where we come in handy if you're not going to one, but you can support from your phone, which I call the Pillow Revolution if you ever want to use that hashtag. I'm pretty much the only one who uses it. But also the Fairy Liberation Front is, I don't know if I have the book to prove it. That's one of my fairy tale books, but there it is. TikTok itself, TikTok is the Clockwork Man of Oz, but also obviously the digital form is this app that we're using now, who has been somewhat taken over a bail fund because it's going to get froggy. Well, there should be these resources out there. Hopefully there's only a few people here, but if the right people come into the live, they can tell you what those resources are. TikTok, little help. So yeah, TikTok used to be fantabulous, like this fantastic, like what we wanted the internet to be type of app. And now it's less so, but we can just, push back on the ways that it's been less so. Like if people don't get a lot of views or a lot of connections and audience, give them more. Like I've noticed on my own view counts, some of my videos will only get 2 or 3 views. And it's like they're sitting next to videos you get a few hundred. I don't get more than that usually. But why did that one get only 1 or 2 when it's usually pretty good? When it's usually got pretty good content. So I think one strategy is when you meet somebody who's cool on TikTok, look through their videos and see what has low counts, like suspiciously low counts, and watch that video and engage with it. I use the hashtag Krasnov for Trump's Russian code name Krasnov, Krasnov. I feel like that's going to help keep me on a good algorithm. Now, lately, my comments have been all Trump-ootneers. I've been getting lots of Trumpy comments. And I've never gotten that many comments from friendly American people. But I've never got that many comments generally. But lately, I've been getting a lot of comments from Trump-ootneers. And, it's still engagement. It's pushing my content out further than the meager audience I had before. But I really would prefer engagement with people who can understand the basic reality enough to be anti-Trump. So, if you care to engage in my content, I really would appreciate it to balance out the Trump-ootneers who are there, unfortunately, excessively. But again, it's, a comment is a comment. And so, I have to approve 75-90% of their comments. Their TikTok filters them because they're just terrible people who say terrible things, but I approve them anyway. Not that I approve of the content of what they say, but I approve them because I believe in free speech and believe that people should be tracked and responsible for what they say. They're upset that they lost the heart of the country immediately. So they want to harm us. Well, they've always wanted to harm us. Like, they've wanted to harm us for being different Americans, or they wanted to harm us for being Americans who care about what America could be instead of what, they've made America for so long. And then I don't know how many of them understand that the Trump plan is the Putin plan. That Trump's plan is not, it's not incidentally harming America. Like, that's the plan. The goal is to harm/destroy America. Putin's very upset. I posted about this some months ago. Do you ever wish that we just hadn't broken up the Soviet Union? That the Soviet Union just stayed like it was? As bad as whatever that would have led to, wouldn't that have been better than him taking over our country with Trump and all the stuff that happened there? Like, wouldn't you rather just have the USSR than all this Trump stuff? Just saying. But, like, realistically, Trump is just destroying this country for Putin. They kind of tease that they understand that with the Russiagate stuff or whatever. They kind of tease that they somewhat appreciate it, but they don't act like, they don't respond accordingly. They don't act like it's real. And it's real. It's just Putin wants to destroy America. He always has. Trump's going to do it for him. Like, yes, you can't destroy everything at once. I mean, I guess they could, whatever. The nuclear option. You can't destroy everything at once, but they're going to destroy this and destroy that. And it's really obvious to me. I think it should be obvious to the people in power, and that makes them suspicious that they haven't used the full force of their power to stop it. I mean, we tried here in Colorado. We have Jenna Griswold. We have a real American hero who was kicking Trump off the ballot. Like, she was doing it at least like it needed to be done. At this point, even if you have judges that aren't captured by Putin that are going to rule against him, he's not going to obey those judges. Anytime somebody mentions the Constitution, it's like, it just makes me want to cry and laugh, because the Constitution is not going to restrain him. It's going to take a posse. It's going to be, and I think that Elon deserves that first. I think some of his little underlings deserve that kind of treatment first. That's why the hashtag grab 'em by the posse. I've used the hashtag grab 'em by the posse for about 10 years now. I mean, like, it's just a hashtag. But as soon as that transitions beyond the hashtag stage to Tucker Carlson or Elon Musk or somebody like that, it's going to start a trend. And that trend is going to make Mario's Brothers trend look like a video game. So, point being, in South Carolina, are you going to the hands-off protest today at the capital of South Carolina, or at a major city center? I think it would be nice to see some of the, if you can't make it to a capital, just people at a public space. I know when the Supreme Court gave one of the elections to Bush, it seems like, I went out and protested just myself at the arches of University of Georgia. Well, myself and a few friends that I took with me, but nobody joined the protest because they saw us out there. And this was before the days of all this organizing that we have now. But yeah, if you're new to the stream, we're just talking about the hands-off protest today. Should be the biggest protest against Trump in history, or the beginning of the biggest protest against Trump in history. And the crashing of the stock market, which he started losing $6 trillion in the last couple of days, and will probably lose the rest of it. Honestly, I was saying the one good thing about it is Trump Putiners will keep their money in longer because they'll believe him that it's a hiccup. Or I get a lot of comments on the videos I've been making about this recently that they're like, it's a great time to buy. And it's like, yeah, you can buy and lose some money for about a week until it's all gone, but hopefully people will start getting out of the stock market, which will precipitate the collapse. But it's like, you get what you get. You elected Trump, you're going to get the end of the country one way or another. You're going to get the end of some aspects of the country anyway. And the collapse of the monetary system, or the end of the monetary system, is, really something to look forward to. Again, TikTok. In Oz, the characteristic things about Oz, which I've always thought of as the future, I can elaborate on that if you're interested in it, but they always say they have no money and no war. Oh, you're shuttling folks. That's awesome. Okay. Well, that's fantastic, though. Because then you're enabling more people to get there, and you're doing something that's really great. So thank you so much. You're an American hero. Thank you for shuttling people, because that's fantastic. That's exactly what Mom was hoping for. She was like, there's a fairgrounds near the Capitol, so, there should be a shuttle, or it would be nice if there's a shuttle. And there might be. But that's awesome that you have a shuttle for people in South Carolina. And yeah, I always encourage people to never feel shy or ashamed if what you can do is supporting on your phone. If you can support on your phone, if you can find a live stream and like it, or if you can comment and stuff, that's great. And you meet people that way, you connect with people that way, you form and deepen relationships that way. I think it's fantastic. That's what I call the pillow revolution, because we do it from bed, or we can do it from bed, and people from all over the world can do it. So if this becomes the standard, I feel like, once we have the spotlight on this tyrant in this country, we can support those people in that country just like they're supporting us in America right now. And we can make it a worldwide revolution to overthrow tyrants everywhere. And they also can make it kind of easy for us, because all the tyrants, as far as I'm aware, let me know in comments if there's somebody I'm leaving out. Every tyrant I can think of is a Putin adjacent Putin pawn. Trump definitely, Bolsonaro was for sure, Netanyahu to me Putin pawn, Modi in India, Orban, all these different Putin pawns. And really, once you take out any of them, they took out Assad. So you've taken out one chink in the armor of Putin's whole network. And, a few more, or some key ones, and it's over for them. So I'm really looking forward to that, or as I've said before, one cardboard drone away from a post-Putin world. So things will be much better. Anyway, things might be better from this stock market crash too, but I've gone a little bit longer than I expected to tonight. I really appreciate you being here and being on the stream and supporting and stuff. And just stay tuned, and thank you again for shuttling people and doing heroic work. And I bet you'll meet some great people and have some great times being there at the protest and in and out of the protest. And really, the protest is going to be everywhere. Like, if you can't make it to a Capitol, do something from bed. Film a statement from your bedroom, or from your front yard, or your city hall, or wherever it is. There might be people gathering, is what I'm saying. Is if you're looking around for them, there might be people gathering, even not at state capitals. But and I might even go down to the state capitol. I'm gonna need to get some sleep if I'm gonna do that, but more than likely I'll be supporting a live stream, or scrolling around between different live streams and supporting people. So I hope other people will find that healthy and helpful as well, and something to be proud of is what I want to encourage people to feel, the pride of participating in the protest online if you can't be there, and definitely encourage people and praise people for being at the protest in person. Like when my mom said, she was going to go into the protest, I was like, oh, I thought she was going to, I don't know, watch it or something. But I was like, oh, you're actually going down to protest? And she said, yeah. I was like, well, great. I was kind of jealous and very proud. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed Hands Off Protest Day today. I think it's going to be the biggest protest against Trump ever, as far as total number of people in total number of places. But I'm looking forward to if we can even get reporting on that other than our own assessments, because they don't report on things very well. But anyway, I think we can have a successful protest today that really galvanizes the anti-Trump sentiment and movement, and we can overthrow him next week. We can be done with this guy. So just keep thinking that way, thinking it's possible, and there's ways that this can happen, because they messed up big time. I crashed in the stock market. It's going to affect a lot of people, even if you don't have stocks, which I don't know anybody who has stocks, but even if you don't have any stocks, it's going to affect a lot of people because it affects the economy. But they're crashing it, and he's doing it for Putin. Whose 79th birthday? Whose 79th birthday is tomorrow? I must have missed a comment. I was going to go, but now I'm all curious. Whose 79th birthday? Anyway, happy birthday to whoever's 79th birthday it is. And hope you guys have a great day. Happy... Oh, you got a gallon of milk too. I did miss a comment. Well prepared. Thank you, thank you. And I don't think there's going to be enough police presence to intimidate people in that way. I mean, I think in their fantasies there will be, but I think the crowds are going to be so big, the police are probably just going to have to keep to themselves and be thankful that the crowds are nice, peaceful, democratic people. And again, there could be people trying to take advantage of these types of big crowds too. People trying to cause chaos and anarchy and stuff. There usually are. We'll see. I mean, it's like kind of like, I'm not going to shame anybody for anything they're doing, but I definitely think this protest today can grow into the overthrow of Trump. Exactly how that's going to happen, it could happen different ways, but overthrowing Trump is necessary, and it might as well be this protest instead of having to get all together a week or two from now, since everybody's already going to be together this week. And he's crashing the stock market. So, I mean, for people that care about the stock market, they could save some of it by overthrowing Trump before he finishes crashing it, or opposing him sufficiently before he finishes crashing it. We'll see, but it is definitely crashing. I would recommend everybody that knows anybody that's got stocks, tell them to go ahead and get their money out now, because it is it's going to be done for. And the only good side of that is the Trump-Putineers, the supporters, are going to believe him and think it's temporary, and they'll lose more money than other people. So there's that. And of course, people find ways to make money off of it one way or the other. But I think that the one good thing about the stock market crashing right now is that this protest today is going to get more attention, more support, not just from the media, although maybe from the media. It would always help if the media decides to actually cover stuff. But just the support of people hearing about it, talking about it, showing up in person. There could be some really big rallies, and people will be able to notice them and join them just from being in the same area. So if that's you, if you have time today, check out the Hands Off protest today. Should be the biggest anti-Trump protest ever so far. And again, if it's big enough, then we won't need another one. If we get a big enough movement going, a big enough showing for protesting against Trump today, it doesn't mean you have to go, but it means support it if you can. If you can't go, try to find some on your phone. Try to find a live stream of a protest on your phone. Share it out, like it, comment, to get more people to see it. Anyway, I haven't got any more comments in here, likes lately, so I'm going to go ahead and shut this down. But thank you guys for being here, and go to the Hands Off protest today to overthrow Trump. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You're welcome to use the Hands Off hashtag, I'm sure, but you could also use my hashtags, which are Pillow Revolution, Post Putin, Fair Liberation Front, Church of Judas, and Grab him by the posse, and put Putin's puppy in the pound, and some other hashtags like that. So if you use those hashtags, you'll have my support, because I've got lots of things under those hashtags already. But yeah, we're talking about the Hands Off protest against Trump. Finally overthrowing Trump today, hopefully, will be the start of it. The real overthrow of Trump. And and he's crashing the stock market. Hello, Magic Knight. Hello, Morius. Nice to meet you. Thanks for being here. If you want to talk about those subjects, please go ahead and like or comment, because otherwise I'm going to be shutting this down. I've already gone about 20 minutes longer than I thought I was going to. So, yeah, overthrowing Trump at the Hands Off protest today. Go to a protest if you can at your state capitol or city hall or wherever public area where people might gather. Join the Hands Off protest, or support from online. Support by finding a live stream of the protest today, tapping the screen, commenting, sharing the live, things like that. So thanks everybody. Thanks Heroes protesting Trump. And thanks TikTok for making the lives possible. See you guys next time. Welcome to the Pillow Revolution.